Hey you guys, what's up? My name is Rye Reed, the writer. I'm back with another video. Finally, right? Aren't you guys irritated with me? Like, don't you want me to post more often? If you do, follow me. Follow me. I'm gonna put it right here. Subscribe, share, like, do all that stuff. Follow me. I'll make more videos, but follow me. All right. So we have some breaking news. The writer's strike has been ongoing. It's been happening. It's been here. The writers have been down by Paramount in California, Paramount Studios, striking for like the past 2 months. I did a video on that. Go check my other videos. Maybe I'll link it down below. Now, coming into July the 15th, today's the first day that the actors are striking with the writers. This has not happened since like the 1980s or 1980, I believe. And that was back when Ronald Reagan was like outside and doing that. Like, this is way before my time. I didn't exist. I wasn't born. I can't say I remember it because I wasn't here. But what a time to be alive. Writers are striking. Actors are striking. UPS is more than likely about to strike. We have unions trying to form. Starbucks. It's getting really crazy out here. I think the genuine discussion that we're going to have is are employees being paid enough compensation to live in this era in the world? And is it also fair that CEOs are making millions of dollars per year and the average employee is making far below a livable wage? Like, nowadays as an employee, just like if you're working a 9-to-5 job, let's say you're making like $40,000 a year, you're struggling, especially like in more expensive states like California. Impossible. If you're living in New York, forget about it. New Jersey, forget about it. Can't live there. It's way too expensive. But we're all collectively struggling. But I found this video. It popped up on my feed this morning on TikTok. It's by an actor. Maybe you've heard of him. His name is Sean Gunn. He was out there protesting today on Saturday. Like I said, down at Paramount Studios, and they recorded him, and he gave his like 2 cents on how he felt about Bob Iger, CEOs, the wage gap that we're all experiencing, that we're all seeing.
I think that when Bob Iger talks about what a shame it is, he needs to remember that in 1980, CEOs like him made 30 times what their lowest worker was making. Now Bob Iger makes 400 times what his lowest worker is. And I think that's a shame, Bob. And maybe you should take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, why is that? And not only why is that, is it okay? Is it morally okay? Is it ethically okay that you make that much more than your lowest worker? And if so, why? Why is that okay? If your response is that that's just the way business is done now, that's just the way corporations work now, well, that sucks, and that makes you a person if that's your answer. So you should come up with a better answer than that.
Like I said, that video, it popped up on my feed. Initially, I was not going to make a video on it, but after kind of sitting and rewatching the video, I watched it a few times. I do want to dissect it, and I have some really interesting talking points. Before we begin, I do want to say this. All the articles I'm going to be talking about are going to be down below in the description box. So while I'm reading, you can actually click one of the articles and you can catch up with me. And since you're going to be in the description box, I am a writer. No, I'm not like one of the writers out at Paramount Studios. I'm not there yet. I'm just a simple, humble writer out here in the country. If you do want to support my writing, my books, I'm an author, by the way, you can go ahead and click one of my links down below. Go either to my website or to Amazon, and you can purchase one of my books and support me. Here's one of my books, A Well of Thoughts. It's gorgeous, it's pretty, it's white. Like, I keep it clean. I keep it clean. Why are the actors striking? Basically just pulled this up off of Google. A union representing about 160,000 Hollywood actors is going on strike after talks with major studios and streaming services have failed. It is the first time its members have stopped work on movie and television productions since 1980. After a final day of negotiations, on Wednesday did not produce an agreement. The actors were basically just fighting for certain rights. I saw a lot of talk about the concerns about AI and using actors and actresses' likeness and voices for AI purposes, which is very understandable. I wouldn't want that either. Another point was the pay scale. These actors wanted to be paid a little bit more. And I know we like to think that actors are being paid like 10, 15, 20 million dollars, because those are the headlines for, like, say, like the Tom Cruises, the Zendayas, the Tom Hollands, the Jake Gyllenhaals, the Halle Berrys. But that's only like 1% of the actors that are getting these major roles. Sure, we have those major actors are being paid like 5, 6, 10 million, 20 million dollars for a movie. But what about all the other actors? Ones whose faces aren't on the billboards, aren't on the magazines, aren't the headliners. I was watching a video, like, I think it was yesterday, since all this, like, you know, talk about actors not being paid enough have come out. There's an actor stating like she only made like $500 like this year off of one role that she landed, and I guess she was out here trying to get picked up for multiple acting positions, and this was the only one she got picked up for. So a lot of actors and actresses, they're struggling, they're broke. For y'all who aren't from California, if you go out to LA, I swear on everything. You go out to LA, you go out to Hollywood, you go out to Beverly Hills, go out to Calabasas. A lot of these people who are working in the industry, like service jobs, restaurant servers, groomers, Uber drivers, Grubhub, you name it. A lot of these, like, these smaller pay scale jobs, a lot of these people are actresses, actors, models. They're trying to break into the industry, and the little jobs that they do pick up aren't able to compensate them enough to survive. So they have to get multiple jobs until they can either find a breakthrough or like some acting position that's going to keep them a contract. It's going to keep them like working and making enough money to get to like the next month or the next few months. And it's not just them, it's singers are struggling. People are trying to get into like the news and radio hosting, any of those prominent positions, because there could only be so many movies that come out per year, so many TV shows, so many streaming movies. There's only so many front runner actors that can take these positions. And a lot of these positions are going to go to your longtime actor and actresses. They get those roles. And here and there we'll have like a breakout actor. But you got to think about this as well. How many breakout actors and actresses do we actually have? Like, how many people just this year have broken out into the industry and they had no connections to anyone, and they did this off the backbone of purely their talent? I'm not trying to discriminate against any Nepo babies or anything like that, but I mean, like, how many people actually from the streets, like you were born and raised in Montana and you came to Hollywood and you actually got a position, like a major acting role, purely off your talent, and you blew up? Like, it's so rare. Really, like, who you know and how you know them and who's gatekeeping what. Like, you have to go through so many different like loopholes and jumps and mazes to even get on like that film. This is also coming from Google, and maybe I'll do a video of me interviewing some of these people at Paramount Studios. I live in California. I live more in the rural area. I do work out in LA. I do take assignments for my job out that way. So it wouldn't be that hard for me to be out there and just, do like a little interviewing, a little podcasting, a little journalism. You do want to see me go down to Paramount Studios like on a Friday or Thursday or something, and go meet some of these actors and actresses and these other studio workers. Go ahead and comment down below in the comment section. Say, Rye Reed, we want you to put on your journalism hat. I'll wear a tie or something. So I like Sean Gunn. I recognized him immediately from the Guardians of the Galaxy. Really fun guy. I didn't see Guardians of the Galaxy, the third one. I apologize. I like his take. Do I see that CEOs are being paid outrageous salaries? Of course. Like, bro, yo, I'm normal. Like, of course they are. Like, shoot, at my job, I work for like a major car company. We're getting paid like maybe $20 an hour, something real low. These CEOs are being paid, like, I think our CEO at our company was being paid like $23 million per year, something crazy. The company that I work for, it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Multi-billion-dollar corporation. And my manager, that's why I don't know if I want to be a manager. My manager is only making, I looked it up, he's only making like $47,000 a year. So we all broke. We all got degrees. It's not funny though, but it's funny. We broke. And that just stirred up a really good question. Is it fair that CEOs are being paid as much as they're being paid? If you have your own opinion on this, put it down below in the comment section. I would love to read about it. I got to digging. I like Google because me and Google, we seem to be on the same like wavelength. Google is sassy. Like, I'm gonna say it's a she. She got some commentary. She got her own thoughts. She got her own opinions, and she's a little bit rude. So I typed in some questions on Google, and I'm just gonna read them out to you guys. So the first one is, why do CEOs make so much money? A company's chief executive officer, CEO, is in charge of the entire organization and is accountable for its performance, meaning CEOs are normally the highest paid individuals in a company. CEOs must provide an extremely high level of talent and skill to produce a strong performing company. The CEO is in charge of the company. They make a lot of the executive decisions. They decide what gets pumped out. So for like Bob Iger's sake, in charge of producing content, he's in charge of maintaining all the Disney parks. Disneyland, Disney World, Disney Paris, Disney Japan. He's in charge of the music, the productions, the characters, the IP, the movies. Bob Iger is the reason why Disney owns so many corporations. It's like Lucasfilm, Pixar, Fox. The next question I asked Google was, what do CEOs do all day? CEO does one of three things: sets the overall vision and strategy of the company and communicates it to all stakeholders, recruits, hires, and retains the very best talent for the company, make sure there's always enough cash in the bank. When we think of a corporation, we have to just, strip ourselves from thinking boss and just employees. That's not how it works in business. How it actually works is there's stakeholders, and these people own the corporation. They have stocks invested in this company. And the CEO, though he's in charge of like maintaining this corporation, these parks, these IPs, he is accountable to these stakeholders, the people above him. When people think of Disney, they think, oh, Bob Iger is in charge and he's the reason why we're being paid so little and this and that. Like, to some degree, he is. But also, there is a whole nother ceiling of people who are making demands, who are demanding that whatever they put in the company, that they get their money back, plus incentives, aka the stocks. Bob Iger's main concern is profitability. How much are we making? Are we increasing per year or are we decreasing? Are we spending too much money? What's going on? How much is everyone getting paid? Everything is about money. Money! Those at the top like to eat a lot. Those at the bottom complain a lot because they're broke. That's how it is always with every company. The bosses and the bosses' bosses and the bosses' bosses and the guy who actually owns the company, they're the ones who are making the money. People at the bottom, the workers, you're getting paid whatever they feel like they want to pay you. If you are a janitor at this corporation and you're replaceable, that's what they think. They're going to pay you whatever they think that position is worth. So if they say that this position is worth, I don't know, like $22,000 a year, that's what it is. And the only way things are going to change is when we come together as a collective and demand more for our services. I'm about to enlighten you guys. It's not even about just our services. It's about time. You do not have an infinite amount of time. Your time is very precious. Anytime you work at a corporation and they're telling you, hey, you're only worth $14 an hour, they're undervaluing you and they're underpaying you. More importantly, they're also telling you that your time is only worth $14 an hour, when in actuality, time is unmeasurable. Time is, if you really think about it, like, it's actually really deep. You cannot put a price on your time, but we do. If your time is worth the bare minimum, how much does Bob Iger make? Disney CEO Bob Iger makes $27 million a year. Companies that writers and actors aren't realistic. So this really got me thinking, how much does Bob Iger make per year? This got me to dig a little deeper. So I found this article on Deadline. The title of this article is Disney's ex-CEO Bob Chapek made $24 million in FY 2022. Bob Iger comp totaled $14 million as company releases latest executive pay. Former Disney chief executive Bob Chapek earned $24 million in fiscal 2022, down sharply from $32 million the year before, the company revealed in its proxy Tuesday. Chapek, who exited abruptly in November, is entitled to just over $6.5 million in remaining base salary through the scheduled expiration date of his employment agreement, just over $1 million, equivalent to prorated target bonus for fiscal 2023, as well as $12.6 million in restricted stock units. That's a total exit payout of potentially $20.4 million. Current CEO Bob Iger's total package of $14.9 million compares with $45.8 million the previous year. Iger stepped down as CEO in February of 2020 to become executive chairman. So I got to dig in a little bit more. I asked Google this question: how much do Disney workers get paid? As of July 6, 2023, the average pay for a Walt Disney World cast member in the United States is $16.79 an hour. Ouch. Next question is, can you live on a Disney salary? While a wage of $15 an hour was enough for the last contract, with skyrocketing rent, food, and gas prices in the last 3 years, it's no longer possible to survive with those wages, the report said. Before the pandemic, workers with families in the $15 to $16.50 an hour wage bracket could pay their bills. Man, Google is sassy. If you were getting paid $16 an hour and you live in California, you ain't surviving. You're broke. You're broke. There's no way you are surviving out here, especially in California. I have a small car. I have a Chevy Trax. It's nothing big. It's a small little compact SUV. It's cute. I like it. It has a little bit of a turbo engine. She fast. She quick. I work 15 minutes away from where I live. Still dropping. This is just me out here. And like I said, I live in California, Southern California. I'm paying $4.39 for gas. It's about like $35 for me once a week to fill up my car. I bought bagels yesterday at Walmart, and these bagels were like $3.97. I bought some shrimp, like not even like great shrimp, just like, you know, the frozen shrimp at Walmart, same thing. And the shrimp, the little package was like $10. I bought 2 apricots at Walmart, and each and for a pound of apricots, it was $2.47. I paid like $4 just about for some apricots. I bought a carton of melons and like grapes and like sliced watermelon in this container at Walmart. And the container's like a little baby container. And the container cost $10. Yo, it's crazy out here. If you're being paid $16 an hour out here in Cali, you don't got no apartment, you're living at home, you can't pay your bills. You're lucky if you're paying for car insurance. For most people, what's health insurance? People aren't getting their teeth done out here. People haven't been to the doctors in years. People are making decisions. Do I pay my rent? Do I like make sure there's electricity on? Do I pay my car insurance? Do I keep up with my car bills? Forget about paying my student loan debt. Forget that. You trifling. Yeah, people are really struggling. To live out in Hollywood and LA, there's no way. Apartments out there are going for like $4,000 a month. You're struggling. Is it fair that the CEO at the top is making like $42 million a year, 46, $32 million a year, while the lowliest person at the bottom cannot afford the rent, cannot afford to eat, is borderline homeless? From like an ethical standpoint, it's a no for me. But I am not the CEO of Disney. If I was the CEO, if I was actually the CEO, if I was in Bob Iger's shoes, because I know the heartbeat of the company belongs to the actors and actresses and to the writers. Like, these people are making your movies, they're creating the music, they are in these roles, in these positions, they're like fueling the parks. They're taking on these like cast positions. They're the reason why people go to Disneyland. Yeah, I would want all my employees to be at their best, and give me their absolute best. And there's no way you're gonna come to work happy and want to give me your best work ethic if you are homeless, or if you're living in a motel, or you are one paycheck away from just not surviving and making it. That has to be an unmeasurable amount of stress on these people. I truly feel bad that this is where we are at in 2023. I feel like we almost live in a very realistic dystopia. Like I said, I'm not the CEO. Bob Iger is going to do whatever he wants to do. If his plan is to wait out the strike and to have writers and actors and actresses go homeless and go hungry and be poor and to wait it out, then that's his prerogative. That's the kind of corporation that you're working for. But it's not just Disney. As I'm seeing, like also on the list was like Netflix and Paramount and a lot of these other companies as well. So it's not just a film industry issue. I'm seeing it as like a global issue. If we're struggling here, I know in Canada they're struggling, people in France, definitely people in the UK are struggling. Like, y'all didn't even have electricity during the winter time. It must have been cold. I do believe that if you're working a job, you should be compensated enough to survive. And I don't think that's like asking for much. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna make sure that I keep reporting on this because I know this is important. And I'll try to keep up to date with everything that's happening. I'll be posting on the strike. But I appreciate all y'all for watching this, and it's out of hand, these bagels, these prices. But yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe. This channel, we're still growing. My goal is to get to 1,000. So I'll be posting on like shorts as well. But yeah, make sure to share this video out to people and just get the word out. Actors are outside, the writers are outside. I might be outside, so we'll see.
Actor strike that threatens to shut down Hollywood. Their labor contract expires at midnight tonight. Yesterday, actors in the SAG-AFTRA union joined writers on the picket line. Screenwriters have been on strike for more than 2 months. Yesterday, a federal mediator was brought in to try and resolve the actors' dispute with major studios. The union wants higher minimum pay scales, an increase in streaming residuals, and protection against unregulated use, and this is so interesting, of artificial intelligence. If the actors walk out, it will be the first time in 63 years that both actors and writers are on a strike at the same time over a contract dispute. A dual strike would mean your favorite TV shows will eventually go into reruns, and there will be more reality programming. Variety reports the Emmy Award ceremony scheduled for September may be postponed if there's no new contract.